ज्योति स्टेनो टाइपिंग कॉलेज में आप सभी का स्वागत है बच्चों। ये आपकी डिक्टेशन नंबर 56 है और ये डिक्टेशन जो है सीन है और इसमें 2000 वर्ड्स हैं। डिक्टेशन स्टार्ट आफ्टर 5 सेकेंड। सर, द 20-point economic program is really changing the face of rural India and a silent transformation is taking place. Land has been allotted to eligible persons and liquidation of rural indebtedness is a welcome step. People who had suffered for endless time are now seeing the rays of hope, but we have to go for far and do much more, and therefore efforts have to be continued. No doubt, in some states, the process of consolidation of holdings has been completed, but in some states like UP, this has not been completed. The Patwari still continues to be the most powerful person in the rural areas, and something should be done about it. By and large, it is felt that minimum support price and procurement price have done a world of good to the farmers. But we have to cut across the unrealistic approach. There must be a definite relevance with the price of inputs and the general price level obtaining in the country while fixing the procurement price. Another thing to which I would like to draw the special attention of the Minister is the Food Corporation of India, which operates as the sole agency of the central government for procurement, import, storage, distribution, and sale of food grains. It also handles fertilizers at the ports. Its operations are enormous, but it is necessary to have a close look at its operations and working. It is very necessary to streamline its working so that it adds to its better and improved working. We find that storage in the godowns of the food corporation always results in damage to the food grains, and therefore we have to make an assessment as to how much grain the rats eat away during storage in the godowns of the Food Corporation of India. Similarly, the Central Warehousing Corporation, which is responsible for providing godowns and warehouses, has not added to its reputation, and something has to be done to improve its working also. Sir, for the supply of quality seeds, the National Seeds Corporation and the State Farms Corporation are responsible. No doubt, the Seeds Acts of 1966 ensures sale of seeds with assured germination and genetic purity, but the dissatisfaction of the farmers regarding seed supply is a well known fact. I would not go into the details, but something must be done about this also. Sir, the role of the agro industries corporations is so that vital that it does not need any elucidation. Agro industries corporations have been set up in several states. No doubt these are state sector corporations, But surely the central government has financial interest in these corporations. These agro corporations, which were set up for certain objectives, have failed to achieve those objectives, and it appears that everything is not all right with them. So, their working has to be improved. It has to be improved not only in its working but also in its objectives for which it has been constituted. Then the question of examination comes. The examination has become a bugbear. Our boys have no other job than cramming their books. They do not have time to play. Their life has become miserable. It is time to change the system, that there should be no examination up to high school. Of course, there should be some tests, and the teachers must be in a position to evaluate their students and see that they are allowed to go to the higher classes. I would not elaborate on that because there is no time left. Anyhow, the present education system is very defective. As far as inspection is concerned, I would suggest that the teachers must be there for inspection. It should be a promotion post for the teachers. Why should you recruit students fresh from the universities? They are absolutely new and have no understanding of education. Now a post is advertised and the young man applies and becomes an inspector. It should not be done. Somebody who has enough experience in education must be the inspector of schools. Another thing that I want to point out is this: these public schools have become a menace. In big cities, you have got such big schools, they have an entirely different outlook. It is high life and they have nothing to do with the ordinary people. Our people are mainly in the villages. These children also should get the same kind of education that the ordinary people get. It is the big men's children who go to these public schools. We do not want that. You speak so much about socialism, this and that, but at least see that this pattern is made common for all people. Let there not be two classes of education in the education system. The other thing is about students' participation in the management of education. In all high schools and universities, there should be students' participation. How to do that? I would say that in the university bodies, along with the representations of the teachers and non-teaching staff, the students should also have representation in the Senate, syndicate, etc. They should be there. That is one of the suggestions that I would like to make. There is no use thinking that our boys are not educated for that. We are 5 or 6 generations away from the modern boy. We do not know what he thinks. He has something new to tell us. He belongs to a different era. He is born after independence. He has something very new to tell. Let us see. Let us take him into confidence and let us have him in these university bodies. So, a complete reorganization is necessary, and this should be immediately attended to. As it is, we have theory without practice, knowledge without knowing, and life without living. This has to be stopped. Knowledge is through knowing, life must be through living, and this can be achieved only if better education is given to the toiling people and workers. Sir, it is being said that rich people in the villages should be taxed. This step might be well received in villages, but so far as ceilings are concerned, we are not getting the opinion of experts. Some people say that the ceiling should be 6 acres, others feel that it should be 10 acres, while many others say that it should be 12 acres. But all this toll is of no avail. Whatever has to be decided should be decided on the advice of experts so that production in agriculture is not affected adversely. If this is not done, we might have to face a crisis caused by shortage of food production and stoppage of food grain import. It is therefore necessary to fix the ceilings in consultation with experts, taking into consideration the nature of land and the climatic conditions prevailing in that particular region. I now come to industries. The President has said in his address that there is great scope of improvement in the industrial sector and that production in that sector is still not satisfactory. From the recently published economic survey report, we learn that the rate of growth, which was 7% in 1969, is not even 3% now. So, we should pay greater attention towards industrial development and remove the shortcomings. The way our public sector undertakings are functioning is not a matter of pride for us. While I do feel that the public sector should grow, yet it would not be desirable to make good the losses suffered by them due to bad management by increasing taxes. As my friend suggested, we should encourage our industries to grow. If we want to become self-reliant, public sector alone cannot help us in becoming self-reliant. The leader of the Communist Party has given notice of many amendments to the motion of thanks for the President's address. The burden of these amendments is that mixed economy is not good and that we should follow the pattern of Soviet Union and similar other countries. I, however, feel that the mixed economy that we have adopted in our country is good. It has provided sufficient encouragement for development. If we have both the sectors, it would encourage a healthy competition between the two. The private sector industries are better run than the public sector industries. The production in this sector is also greater while the cost of production is much less. In view of all this, I feel that the policy of mixed economy should be continued in the country. The President has not paid any particular attention to this in his address. We are now talking of economic Swaraj. I do not appreciate the idea, but if we want to achieve economic Swaraj, we shall have to bring about quite a lot of development in the industrial and agricultural sectors. Moreover, experts are of the view that heavy taxation does not necessarily yield proportionately higher revenue as the figures have revealed. I am not talking just for the sake of expressing the opinion of the Communist Party. I think you are also interested in this. It is a very big problem in our country. Land reform is a very urgent problem. I can give you certain examples. I do not want to mention names inside Parliament of people who are not here. It is not proper to mention names because those persons who are not here, some of them have got 4,000 to 5,000 acres Benami lands. What I was saying is not only in Tamil Nadu, not only in Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, in many states there are many people who have got thousand and thousand of acres, but our governments are not able to implement land reforms. Our agricultural workers are eagerly waiting for distribution of land to them. That is one of the major problem which we are facing today. Then there is the question of unemployment. Nothing is mentioned about unemployment in this paper. I have read it repeatedly, but I have not found anything about this problem expecting a mention about formation of a commission for rural employment. I do not oppose it, but what is the use of forming commissions? You have got already several commissions. You have one commission, National Commission for Welfare of Women. You have National Commission for Employment of Rural People, and so on. Beyond a mention of these, there is nothing concrete said in the paper. I am not talking about the figures. Unemployment is increasing. It is not decreasing. Everybody knows it. That is why you are going to spend more and more money for anti-poverty programs. You see the contradiction. You are spending more and more money. You are forced to spend more and more money for implementing the anti-poverty programs. Why is there this poverty inside villages and towns? Because they have no employment there. That is the main thing. The government knows very well that unemployment is increasing in two ways. One, there is by and large stagnation in the industrial sector. In some sectors there is improvement. I have no doubt about is as for instance in telecommunications, in electronics there is some improvement there. But if you take textiles, if you take sugar industry, if you take cement industry, if you take engineering industry, there is a stagnation and deterioration there, and now a large number of workers are thrown out of employment, thrown out of industry, and then there is the closure of mills, to which I will come later. A large number of people who are employed in these industries are thrown out of job. This is a very disturbing feature. Secondly, there is deterioration in agricultural economy. The only dispute between this side and that side is that they emphasize that the deterioration in the agriculture is due to drought. I do not agree with them at all. That is why I am criticizing the government. इस क्लास में इतना ही, नमस्कार।